Nice enough to join us. We're just getting the great G-Man ready to go. Yeah. Can you hear okay? Yeah, we got you set up?
Yeah.
How are you?
Thank you.
The one and only Gary Gerould.
You know, I'm pretty tolerant.
Are you just getting done, G-Man?
Oh, 15, 20 minutes ago.
Because we got done like an hour ago. I thought it was a quick round today relative to others. How'd you feel out there today?
Pretty much the same.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is, I normally figure 6 hours.
Right.
And I don't know, we were 5:25.
Yeah, that's not bad. That's not bad.
So,
Do we need to get you something to drink or something while you're sitting here? You need some.
You need something,
water or
man?
something?
I got you. You want lemonade, water? What you thinking?
lemonade, 7-Up,
Something?
Sprite.
I got you. I'm gonna make it happen.
All right,
for
Jay
you.
on it. Okay.
Appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah. Before
Wow.
G-Man comes in and we're like, hey.
I know. Jump right in. Dude, it's like 100 out there right now. It got hot out there, G-Man.
I played yesterday a practice round by myself, and it was terrific. And I played short tees and hit the ball well, one thing or another. There wasn't anybody on the golf course.
Where'd you go?
Right here.
Oh, you were out here?
Yeah.
Okay, yesterday.
And, by the end of the day, I was thinking, man, my butt's starting to drag. And I thought, I wonder what that's going to mean tomorrow.
Yeah.
My butt was dragging from about the middle of the point on. But, it's such a good deal. John Jacobs and his guys do such a good job.
Yeah.
And to see, former Kings players and former 49ers and Giants players, one thing or another, coming out here, raising money for great causes. And so that's the bottom line.
Yep.
Those back-to-backs are tough at this stage, aren't
Oh,
they?
boy.
Did you, I guess seeing former Kings players is kind of special for you. Seeing the Scott Pollards of the world,
Yeah, absolutely.
Lee, Kenny Thomas.
Harold.
What's that? Yeah, Harold. Yeah, what's that like for you, man?
Well, it brings up a lot of great memories, and you get to know people in different ways. And as I've gotten so much older, the generation gap is so much wider. And I think back to the early days of the Kings, Eddie Johnson, Reggie Figas, LaSalle Thompson, etc. You forged real bonds, and part of it was because I was much younger, but it was also, I think, because in that day and age, players didn't make anywhere near the money that they make now.
Yeah.
And so as a result, it was not at all uncommon. We would have a couple of times a year, we would have some kind of a holiday party or whatever, and Kings players, their wives, their kids would all come to our modest home, and we'd all hang out, and it was really special.
Really? Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
And those type of things I don't think happen anymore. Maybe they do in isolated basis, but it really made those times special. And I mention it because I'm driving here this morning, and Eddie Johnson shoots me a text, and he pulled up. He says, "You need to see this clip." And he said, "I'm watching an old Kings game the other night, and it was only 26 seconds worth of video, but somebody makes a great play. They go to the stands." And my daughter, who passed away 5+ years ago, who was such a huge Kings fan, she was the cutaway shot.
Wow.
And for 10 seconds, I was transported, and I thought, my God, there's my daughter, who obviously, no parent ever wants to lose a child.
Yeah.
And it's hard in that sense. But that's Eddie Johnson. That's the kind of bond that we have. 10 minutes later, his wife sends me a text because they didn't know that I've had to put Marlene in an assisted living facility here. And so it's been a challenge this summer from that standpoint alone. Our family is really small. It's just after Beth passed, my son Bob and his wife, and my wife and myself. That's it.
Wow.
So that makes kind of a roundabout way telling you how special it becomes when you have these relationships with these guys dating back to 40 years ago.
Sure. Yeah. I remember I was in the media room with Eddie Johnson when the Kings were playing the Suns, of course. And I thanked Eddie because he had come on our station to talk to Jerry because they're very close. And you were in there, and Eddie Johnson said, Jerry and this guy, pointing to you, he said, they raised me because I was a baby when I was here. He said, you and Jerry raised him. Yeah.
Interesting how.
Yeah. Gary Gerould is with us.
Yeah, G-Man, about the do his John Hancock on a few things over here. Appreciate him jumping on with us here at the Gold Rush
plays
Classic.
golf. He comes in here and everybody wants something.
Everybody wants a piece of him, right? Hey, G-Man, do this for us. Do that for us. Schedule release comes out next month. Let me ask you this, G-Man, because these guys got on my case. You're an NBA lifer like me. We've been in the league for a while. How do you view, and I'm not going to try and, get him, on my side or sway his opinion, his answer. How do you view schedule release day in your life? Like, what's that day like for you?
Well, it's always fascinating. And I think from the very first year of my involvement with the Kings in Sacramento, you always look first to see, are you going to be home on Christmas or are you going to be on the road? Then you look at Thanksgiving and you see what happens there. And then you look and say, okay, when are our longest road trips? How many games are they going to be? What cold weather cities are we going to be in? And, how tough is that liable to be in January, February, whatever? When are you going to be in Miami and Orlando and places like that? Right. So that's the way I look at it.
Do you look forward to it, though, after 40 years, going into 41 years?
Oh, sure. Yeah, I do.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm setting you up here, G-Man. All right, so you look forward to, schedule release day. You go through it like I do as well. I said last week that for me, I look forward to it more than Christmas. Like,
We
Christmas,
thought that was a little unusual.
because Christmas, when you're in the business, sometimes it's great. Other times you're on the road.
Yeah.
You might be on a 6-game road trip in Minnesota in December. So Christmas schedule release day sets the whole next 6 months. So I'm like a kid on Christmas Eve when this guy. They thought I was weird. They're like, Drapes, you need to get out more.
And in fairness to you and what you're saying, you've got teenagers as your kids in the family.
Right. Yes.
And it's important to share those holidays with your family members. And so I can see why, that's the first thing you got to check out.
Yes. So he's not agreeing with me. That's better than Christmas
a little bit.
But he understands. He understands where I'm coming from.
Yeah. G-Man does what he does great.
Yes.
He knows how to work around with the wiggle when he needs to.
He got a little Scott Perry in him.
I know, right?
Stay under the radar.
G-Man, can I ask you before we let you go?
And take your time with
Please, absolutely. Please take your time. And I know you hear this question quite a bit. I don't want to ask you what keeps you going, because to me that's null and void. The passion, the love that takes you every single year to say, you know what, I want to do this again. I want to do this over and over, especially as much as I know you're going to tell me you love the Kings, especially as downtrodden as the Kings have been throughout your career in many different instances. Where does that come from?
I don't know that I have an answer for that. I know that way back in my youth as a teenager, I had a paper route. People today don't even know what a paper route is. That's right. But I delivered 5 different newspapers every late afternoon. And in Michigan, and the winters can be tough. And there were stretches in my paper route where there were long distances between homes. And I'm there. And what am I doing? I'm calling basketball games in my head as I'm delivering papers as a 14, 15, 16, 17-year-old kid. So maybe it comes from that. I don't know. But I always loved basketball. My father, who passed away when I was 12, I was an only child. My mother, who was frequently ill. But before my father became so seriously ill, they took me to basketball games. There was an industrial league in my hometown of Midland, Michigan.
And those were big deals, right? Industrial league.
They were.
Yeah.
I mean, they were teams from the Fort Wayne Zollner Pistons and the Anderson Packers from Indiana and the Midland Dow ACs and one thing or another.
Yeah.
The Flint Joe Louis Punchers. So
Joe Louis
I was introduced to that. I mean, and to me as a kid, the highlight, if I could touch a basketball in that musty old gym at Midland High School, it made the night for a kid. And I've always kind of remembered that and related to that. And you see young kids now, and I have an affinity for young basketball fans, and I love seeing them. And when you go back, what was it, a dozen years ago now, when we almost lost the Kings franchise, and it was first down and goal, and them going to Seattle. And the thing that haunted me was these young fans that we were developing were going to be denied the opportunity to go to games with their mom and dad or with their aunt and uncle or with their grandma and grandpa. And to me, that was the hardest thing to accept. It ate at me. And I'm so happy, obviously we're all happy that the Kings stayed. Lord knows, yes, we wish they'd won more games along the way. And yes, over 40 years, I've seen some bad basketball at different times. But there are times when, that's offset and you have great moments. And every year, I think you look at it with a renewed sense of optimism and hope. And I know, I am so blessed to have an opportunity to still be able to be a broadcaster at my age. And I take pride in that, and I love that, and that contributes to the passion. And I was asked at least 3 times today on the golf course, how long are you going to keep doing this, G-Man? And the answer is always the same. As long as I'm healthy, as long as it's fun, and as long as I feel like I'm wanted.
That's right.
So there you go.
Well, thank you for doing it. Seriously.
Well,
it's a blessing for us.
Well, you're kind.
Yeah.
You're very kind.
Yeah.
You know what it is, G-Man, though? Because, and I liken it like this. When you look at what's going on in our world, you turn on the local news, national news, a lot of negativity, even in sports talk, a lot of negativity. As a fan of basketball, and I would imagine Kings fans feel this way also, when they turn on the radio and hear you, it's almost like a sense of normalcy. Like, you know what? I can, for the next 2.5 hours, nothing else matters. I can enjoy Kings basketball with G-Man. You're sort of a soothing, presence for a lot of Kings fans, I would imagine.
Well, appreciate that.
Yeah,
Kyle.
yeah.
That's you hope for those types of things, and broadcasts hit everybody differently. And I know that there's such a wide divergence in ages and young audiences, and broadcasters want to cater to young audiences, and I understand all of that. But I also understand that I'm super blessed to have this opportunity, and I still enjoy it so much. And Lord knows if the creek don't rise, maybe we'll get to do it again.
Yeah. And this has to be said. We all know that you're so damn good at it.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Well,
Yeah.
It's incredible. Yeah.
Now you're making me blush.
You still got the same passion, though, for it, G-Man? You think, a slam dunk, a game winner, a big Kings win?
Sometimes I question that because I don't get as excited at something that I may have gotten excited in the first 5 years as a young broadcaster because it was all new to me.
Yeah.
So now you pick your moments, and usually in the course of a ball game, you're going to see 2 or 3 things that you don't see on a regular basis.
Yeah.
Something super athletic play.
Yeah.
You see Malik Monk take that ball above the iron and hammer it home.
Yeah.
And that brings you out of your seat sometimes. I love those types of moments. Any broadcaster would. You look forward to those. And as we all know, the tight, dramatic games are the most fun to broadcast.
Yeah.
And when I frequently am asked, well, what are your favorite games? One thing, I can't narrow it down to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but I'll never forget, for instance, the double overtime win just 3 years ago in LA against the Clippers. 175, 76.
176, 175.
Yeah. And De'Aaron Fox, Malik Monk went just stone cold crazy in that game.
Yes.
That was one of the most exciting games I've ever broadcast. Then you think about, it's been back to the days of Tyreek Evans, his rookie season. The Kings are in Chicago. They're down 35 in the third quarter, and they win the ball game.
Right.
Those are the kind of things that jump out at you. And then on the opposite side, I remember in the rookie first year, we go into Milwaukee in one of our last games before Christmas, the end of a road trip, and we got hammered by 58. And I was having a real hard time.
Yeah.
That was my first year. Joe Axelson, who was then the general manager, we came home, and that night at the old Wood Lake Inn in Sacramento was the King's Christmas party. And
oh boy,
I was down in the dumps, and Joe says, you gotta understand, there are going to be nights like this. And it was a valuable lesson to be learned. And unfortunately, the Kings had several of those games where they lost more than 50 or so.
Right.
But then you think that there was a holiday time when we would beat, I think it was Dallas and Philly back to back at the old Arco by 50 or 58 or and 56 or
Really?
something like
Wow.
back-to-back games in a year when the Kings weren't that good.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Man.
there's lots of things, we look back on and
Right.
you savor and you say, how blessed have I been to be able to be involved, to be able to remember some of those, to be, trying to be a conduit to pass along the excitement of the moment, paint a picture,
Mhm.
which, totally unlike what Drapes does, because TV, you react to everything you see on the screen.
Right.
Radio, you have to create
Create the pictures for the
picture
people.
the screen in your mind.
Yeah.
So,
Yep.
Man, we gotta let G-Man go.
I know.
Yeah.
Because G-Man, when the last time you jumped out your chair on the play, man? I got so many questions. I truly do. We gotta
it's
let
funny.
G-Man
I was
go.
I was repacking and thinning out some memorabilia the other day,
Okay.
and I ran across something that made me flash on, and it was the last Kings game at the old Arco.
Ooh.
We were playing the Lakers, and the Kings were down big. I don't remember the margin, but they came back and they took the lead in the final minute against Kobe and company.
Mm.
And that was a big deal.
Mhm.
And I remember my call. I am out of my seat and I'm high-fiving everybody in sight. And that literally was the
You said
case.
that?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
And I thought, man, what a great moment.
Man.
To me, those are, in sports, magical moments.
Yeah.
And every sport has them. But to be associated with a magical moment in sports is just the coolest.
Man.
Just the coolest.
Man. No
He's the
doubt.
coolest.
The G-Man.
Yes,
Thank
sir.
you, G-Man.
Oh, thank you
Yeah.
guys.
Yeah, we appreciate it.
Appreciate
We'll be
the
back,
lemonade.
Absolutely.
Yes,
All good.
yes.
back with more.